Happy Thursday. I am still waiting for the Red Sox to get a hit with guys on base. That was brutal. But let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and here we are on Friday Eve to talk some more baseball. And man, was Wednesday frustrating. Holy smokes. That Red Sox play of the day should have been an easy win. We're going to talk about that. The over in the Cardinals-Padres game should have gone over. And we're going to talk about both those as to why they did not. Just some rough beats. But you know what? It's baseball. It's sports. It's happened. It happens all the time. So just want a reminder, bankroll management. Don't go try to chase any losses or try to bet above your means or anything like that. If you are in this for the long haul, which I'm sure most of you are, make sure that you have that bankroll management. Stay disciplined because baseball can get you, any sport can get you after a while. So anyways, check out that NBA video because we do have one for Thursday's game. Small slate there in the NBA too, but let's hope we can get some winners. NBA is like upside down right now. It's absolutely insane, but almost time for the playoffs. I'm ready to get into this video because we got a lot to get into, as you guys know, and it starts with that baseball fun fact. So here we go. Did you know that the average lifespan of a baseball in the major leagues, the actual baseball, is around 6 pitches? That's a crap ton of baseballs being used every single day in the MLB. That's wild, but I just thought I'd point that out. I don't know if that's useful to you or maybe you already knew, but anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday. I don't want to again, but you know what? If we recap all the good days, we still got to recap the bad days. And then we're going to start out that research help with the good hitter matchups today, like always. Talk to you good pitcher strikeout matchups, which is lacking today, but we'll talk about that. And then the pitcher report, of course, to give you all the details of every pitching matchup, and then hopefully get back on track with our best bets and wrap it all up with the bets recap. So hit that like button like you guys have been doing. Leave a comment below. For those that have come over from the final round in Jordan, I appreciate all the support and the comments you guys have been doing. The first 2 days have not been good. We will bounce back. Like I said, it's a long year. But anyways, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we inch closer to 23,000 subscribers. Just blown away by the support of all you guys. So we appreciate it. But let's get that baseball journey rolling. And it starts with the recap. All right, let's talk about these bets real quick. I'm going to take a deep breath. We got this. The Red Sox minus 1.5, my play of the day. 1 unit still. They had 10 hits, guys. 10 hits and only 1 freaking run. If you were following this game, it was just so incredibly frustrating. They won 1-0. So they lost because I needed them to win by 2 or more. Again, 10 hits and 1 run because of 4 double plays. I just don't even know what to say. 8 of their 27 outs were on double plays. They had guys on base consistently, and this is kind of like basketball. You want to bet on guys that have a lot of volume. If they have a really cold shooting night and you lose your bet, you know what? You can't do anything about it. You're not shooting for them. Kind of like baseball. Hey, we had all the traffic on the bases. We had a lot of hits like I was anticipating, like I thought they would get. They just couldn't get the big hit. And you know what? It's not going to be the only time it happens this year, but man, that was tough. And then over 8 Cardinals-Padres, rinse and repeat to what I just said. 13 total hits, 8 total walks, 2 hit by pitches. But again, 4 total double plays in that game and only 5 runs scored. Arenado was up with guys on base, hit into a double play in the 7th or 8th inning. He just sucked again. I mean, he's just sucking right now, let's face it. There was just guys that had so many opportunities. It was bonkers, and it still ended 3-2 because you know what? That's baseball. It happens. Brian Hayes, Mookie Betts. I don't even know what Mookie Betts did because we're recording during the game, but it doesn't matter. Because thank you or congratulations to me for ending Brian Hayes' absolute scorching hot streak as he goes 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Unbelievable. But we got to win. A late ad in the day to Twitter and everywhere else. Christian Javier under 2.5 earned runs. He pitched 5 innings and gave up 0 earned runs. So finally a nice winner. And then Chris Bassett Hound. My goodness, he was giving up so many hits. Seriously, just incredible amount of hits. He was getting out of jams, but it just raised his pitch count way too much. He only made it, I don't even think he made it through more than 5 or somewhere around there. Anyways, we needed 6. It didn't come that close. So there it is. Last 2 games were only a half unit too. So split those. And then just a brutal 0-3 day. But man, we are so due to bounce back, and I'm ready to do it today. So before we get into those best bets, and by the way, as you can see on the overall record, we are back to square one. So it's like free entertainment, I guess we call it. That's what I tell myself whenever I have an even day. But right now, we are back to even for the season. and it's time to get upward again. So before we get into those best bets, though, let's talk those good hitter matchups. All right, we got a small slate today, so that means only 7 good hitter matchups for you. Luis Arias, one of the best hitters in the league, obviously 8 for 25, 3 extra base hits versus Lance Lynn with a bomb. And then his teammate Tim Anderson, 6 for 17, 3 extra base hits and 1 home run versus Lance Lynn from their days in the AL Central. Other than that, we got 3 Cleveland Guardians, and my goodness, have the Guardians been hitting. If you've been watching them, they just routed my Mariners. Just George Kirby, one of the best pitchers in the league. I bet him to win the Cy Young. I was talking all high about him, and he gets routed. He just gets crushed. I mean, the defense was terrible for the Mariners. That didn't help, but the Guardians are hitting right now. They're a team that does not hit many home runs. I mean, they will probably be dead last in home runs, but they'll also probably be the number 1 team at striking out in regards to not striking out at all. But Steven Kwan, Andres Jimenez, and Jose Ramirez, all pretty good against Pablo Lopez, surprising. But again, 11, 11, and only 13 at bats, so it's pretty small. And then Contreras of the Cardinals, another guy who just choked for the Cardinals and my bet today. 3 for 9, 3 extra base hits, and a home run versus Ryan Weathers. And then the Pirates, who absolutely struggled. It wasn't just Ke'Bryan Hayes. They were terrible against Trevor Williams in that bullpen. But Reynolds, 4 for 8, 2 extra base hits, and a home run versus Josiah Gray. So those are the best hitter matchups for Thursday, April 4th. And now let's talk some pitcher strikeouts. All right, we don't have a lot to talk about because there are no good pitcher strikeout matchups. I just wanted to bring that up. Some of you guys might be asking about Pablo Lopez, so I just made a little note right here. Yes, he is the best strikeout pitcher on the entire card. But like I mentioned before, the Guardians don't strike out, and he is facing the Guardians, one of the hardest teams in the major leagues to strike out. It's been that way for like the last year or two, honestly, and it's not changing this year. So, it doesn't mean he can't go over a K-prop, just see where the number is and things like that. But it is a very tough matchup. Taking over Ks against the Guardians, there was a reason they dropped a 4.5K number on George Kirby, and a lot of people liked it. It was even tempting to me, but he didn't get anywhere near it. So, anyways, those are the good pitcher, or there is no good pitcher strikeout matchups for April 4th. And now let's go into the pitcher report. All right, here are the 6 matchups for today, and 2 of those games are because of a doubleheader. So as you can see on the bottom, you're going to have 2 games between the Tigers and the Mets. As of recording this, I don't see who the Mets pitcher is yet for Game 2, but those are the matchups. We don't have a ton of great pitchers today. The 2 best pitchers we have are going to be facing off against each other in Tanner Bybee and Pablo Lopez in that Guardians-Twins game. These are all 2023 stats. If you are new, as you can see, we got a bunch of different columns, and on the bottom you will see the average, so you have something to compare it to, with 21.6 being the average K rate. Pablo Lopez, we just talked about, strikes out a ton. Tanner Bybee, 24.1% last year. And probably next week sometime we'll start just putting in stats from this year when guys have a couple of starts under their belt. But other than that, Soroka didn't look good for the White Sox. He had 0 Ks in his first starting. And then Seth Lugo for his new team in the Royals, and so on and so on. Josiah Gray is supposed to be someone that was going to be good for the Nationals, but it just has not worked out for him. But yeah, those are what we got for the matchups today. And obviously hits per 9 innings can kind of help you if you want to take hits prop or hitter parlays against these pitchers and things like that. So anyways, hopefully this helps you go get some winners. But now, speaking of winners, let's talk some best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. The link is below in the description. Go check that out. Now, here we go. Bet number 1 takes us out to Kansas City. We got the Royals hosting the Chicago White Sox. Royals money line -166. White Sox on the money line +140. Total in this game is 8 runs. My bet in this game is a player prop, and it is an under. Give me Mike Soroka under 3.5 Ks at -110 on DraftKings. I can't wait to talk about an under strikeout. I bet you're excited, especially at 3.5. So here we go. Soroka is obviously not a big strikeout guy. That's why it's at 3.5, but he had 0 Ks last start. I repeat, 0 Ks on 77 pitches. So it's not like he just threw 2 innings or anything. And this season so far, by the way, if we want to just talk about who he faced the Detroit Tigers. They had a 25% K rate this season so far versus righties. Now he's facing the Royals, 24% K rate. So it's not like he's faced a really tough team to strike out or anything. Last season, the Tigers had the 6th highest K percentage versus righties. The Royals were 13th. So this is actually going to be a harder game for him to get strikeouts as opposed to the last one when he got 0. Now, this is the wild part. In that game, when he threw 77 pitches, he got 3 whiffs. 3 out of 77 is insane. One of his 23 sliders got a whiff. One of his 22 four-seam fastballs and one of his 15 changeups got a whiff. That's it. 0 of 17 sinkers. That is awful, guys. Only 5 foul balls, too. I mean, it just was not good. He was not fooling anybody, if you couldn't tell. And I dug real deep into the quality of his pitches just because I do that sometimes. I'm kind of a nerd in baseball. But his PLV, pitch level value, it's graded from 0 to 10 on the quality, not the result of the hit or anything, on the quality of the pitch. All 4 of his pitches that game were rated between 4.25 and 5.21. Needless to say, on a 0 to 10, that is no bueno. So he just struggled in general, and it's not just a one-time thing. This guy's battled injuries the last few years. He didn't pitch in 21 in the majors, didn't pitch in 22, and he only threw 32.1 innings last season with a 6.40 ERA. I think the Royals can get to him a little bit too, which obviously knocking him out early will also be a help. He's never had an above-average K rate in his career in the few seasons he has pitched in it. So, I mean, you don't just go from 0 Ks to striking out 6 in your next game. There's a reason for it. And when you get 3 whiffs, that's even more of a telltale sign for me. I know under 3.5 is going to be hard, but as my first best bet, give me Mr. Soroka under 3.5 Ks and hold your breath. I like the Royals lineup. I think with Pasquantino, who does not strike out much, and some other guys, I think they got a good lineup to knock him out and have him go under the 3.5. All right, the second bet takes us out to Minnesota. We got the Twins hosting the Cleveland Guardians. The Twins money line minus 155, Guardians money line plus 130. Total in this game is 7.5 runs. My best bet in this game is scary because I played this a little bit last year, but I did want to dip my toes into it this year. And you guys have been asking for it. We got a Nerfy. Sometimes I like to do Yerfy, but I am doing a Nerfy in this one. That is no runs first inning. Give me the Nerfy in this game at minus 130 on DraftKings. I want to do a half unit. Ryan talked me into a unit. And if you don't know who Ryan is, by the way, all you new subscribers, he is the guy behind the scenes. He is the guy who makes all these videos look great. He edits. You'll see him on football videos, so on and so on. So he is a big reason why this channel is what it is, just so you guys know. But if this loses, it's his fault because he told me to do a unit. So let's talk about this. It's the first inning, so anything can happen. But both teams were in the bottom half of the league scoring runs in the first inning last year. Now we have Pablo Lopez versus Tanner Bybee in this matchup. So the Guardians don't have much power. We know that. They had the least amount of home runs. That's a good sign because hitting a solo bomb when you have a Nerfy is just absolutely awful. Facing Pablo Lopez is going to be a tough task, but the Twins hitters against Tanner Bybee, the top 5 Twins hitters in their lineup, that's Julian, Kirilloff, Buxton, Kepler, and Correa. They are 4 for 24 off of Tanner Bybee. Small sample size, but good to know they're not crushing them. The other side, the Guardians offense, Pablo Lopez is a great pitcher. I trust him here, but I'm not going to lie. The Guardians actually have had some success. The top of their lineup has hit Lopez pretty well, but again, I'm going to take my chances that Lopez at home, and the way he looked earlier, I think he can get 3 outs. That's all we need. Lopez faced the Cleveland Guardians 3 times last season, and he didn't give up a first inning run in any of those 3 games. So take that for what it is, but all the signs point to giving me a Nerfy in the Cleveland-Minnesota game at minus 130 is my second best bet. I am going to have at least one more added play in the morning. Again, we record these videos because of kids and jobs and all that. We do it late at night every night, so I don't want to force a ton of picks. I like to wake up in the morning, really analyze it more, and give you another added play or two. So that's what we got for the MLB for Thursday, April 4th. Let's take a look at the bets recap. All right, it's simple. Give me Mike Soroka of the White Sox under 3.5 Ks at minus 110 on DraftKings, and then the Nerfy in the Cleveland-Minnesota game at minus 130 on DraftKings as well. Let's get some winners. I'm going to add a few other props also. I have some other ideas right now, but there'll be at least one more added play on X, on Discord, and as always, in the pinned comments. Be sure to go check out that NBA Best Bets video that is out now. We had the G's of threes talking about hot shooters from the three-point line as well. So I appreciate the support. It's time to turn it around. We had a great start to the year, but the last couple days took it all back. So it's a long season. Let's keep grinding. I appreciate all the likes and the comments. So hope you have a great Thursday. We'll talk to you soon.